Hi, I'm Reese. I'm the president of the Saleen Club of America, and today we're looking at a 2014 George Follmer Edition Saleen Mustang. This car is a 495 horsepower, naturally aspirated tribute car to Trans Am racing driver George Follmer that was well known in the Trans Am series, but he also did a lot of other series racing in the 60s and 70s. It's a tribute car done to him to honor his 1969 Boss 302 Mustang that would have featured the chevron and the door number 16 on it at the time. And these cars were built limited production. They were scheduled to build 250 of these cars, and unfortunately, due to the timing of the car, there was only 5 of these production cars built in one single prototype. So it's not a very common car, but it is a very fun car. I don't really know where you want to go.
Well, tell me that. Would you share with the story of how you acquired this car?
Yeah, so ironically, as rare as this car is, I found the car sitting on a Mercedes-Benz used car lot in Massachusetts. A friend of mine called me and he says, "Hey, do you know anybody looking for a George Follmer Mustang?" I said, "No." "Why?" And he says, "Well, I think I just saw one on a used car lot." I'm like, "No, you didn't." "And what number is it?" And he says, "Well, I don't know. Why do you need to know that?" I said, "Well, they're kind of rare, and I'm trying to figure out how many are built." I said, "I need to know what the bumper number is on because they're limited production." He said he'd have to turn around and go back and drive 4 miles to go figure it out, which he kindly did. And he sent me a picture of the bumper number, which is number 15, which happens to be my favorite number. At which point I responded back to him and I said, "Well, now I want to buy one." And so we started putting a plan in place to make that happen. As it turned out, we decided between him and myself and a couple other gentlemen that it would benefit us greatly if we went in together and purchased the car, so we did that. We have a group of guys that we do that with a couple of cars. It gives us an opportunity to own some really nice cars and not be fully vested in them. So we share the car and drive it, at will when we want to.
Well, could you share me your personal favorite memory driving or having this car?
Well, I think my personal favorite memory of driving this car is not long after we had it. We trailered this car and the blue car next to it all the way to Wisconsin for a national show event there. And on a way back from a cruise one day back to the host hotel, passed a friend of mine that was in a convertible. And when we got back to the hotel, he says, "Man, I love that car." He said, "It sounds like an angry gorilla." And it is a very throaty and aggressive car. And that was by far my favorite time driving it. And other people enjoying it, I think, was more enjoyable for me.
Do you know the story behind this car, why they only made 5? And would you share some of the specs of the car as well after that?
Yeah, so I'm not exactly certain why they only built 5. We do know that they had ordered a truckload of red 2014 Mustangs. We have pictures of the Mustangs coming in on the truck, lined up behind Saleen, the factory. They're just lined up around the block, just waiting to be built. The prototype, of course, had made its way to the 50th anniversary show in Charlotte and had been announced to the world. These cars were $80,000 new. And I think that just the timing of it and the body style change was coming for 2015. I think it just left it on the table at a bad time. And so there just weren't a lot of orders. We know that there's car number 1, the prototype. There's a car number 5, a car number 8, and then 13, 14, and 15. And those are the only ones that we know that have been produced. Like I said, it's 495 horsepower and I think 500 foot-pounds of torque. It has unique body work on it, obviously a very unique paint job that is made to pay tribute to the George Follmer 1969 Boss 302 Trans Am car. It has a unique Saleen interior in it, watch link suspension, and fully adjustable Saleen front and rear. It's been breathed upon. The engine, they tuned it up real good. Like I said, 495 horse, naturally aspirated. There's no supercharger on this car. It's very aggressive, and the throttle response is insane.
That's incredible. And did they do anything else special, racecraft suspension, or anything else notable to the car?
It's got Saleen suspension on it. I don't think this particular one was notated as racecraft, but it is a Saleen suspension that was adjustable. The Super Shaker hood obviously was an add-on for this car. Performance, the exhaust was changed on it from a performance standpoint, and the programming is the bulk of it. It's all in the the way they program the engine to react, the throttle response, and the timing.
Well, Mr. Reese, thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your 2023 World of Wheels.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.